Good morning and welcome to the 9th Annual Mining Law Summit. This year our topic is the mining water interface and the role of good neighbor or impact benefit agreements. The Mining Law Summit is a collaboration among the James E. Rogers College of Law and the School of Mines and Mineral Resources. And we have been supported very well by Dean Miller, who's with us today, and and he announced a couple days ago that he's stepping down as dean, and so we're going to miss you, Marc, and your full support. But I will say that we, from the very beginning of the mining law program, Marc has been an immense support. And as a matter of fact, when we first talked about establishing a mining law program, that was one of his first requests, that we have some sort of annual meeting to provide an avenue for collaboration between various disciplines. And I think that the Mining Law Summit has proved to be very successful in examining things of current interest and concern. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dean Marc Miller. Dean, it's good to have you here.
Thank you. It's always good to be here. 9 summits. That's amazing. A program that's now run a decade and more. And John is right. One of the first things I did when I started as dean 12 years ago was to sit down with John, who had long thought about the intersection of mining policy, mining law, mining engineering, and the opportunities with a great College of Engineering and mining program, the Lowell Institute, a college where John had deep connections through his father and family, and the College of Law, the opportunities to really do cutting edge work at that interface to train both lawyers who worked in the area and non-lawyers in the heavily legalized and regulated space. Both of us believed and shared the view that this is an incredibly important industry, not just historically, but for so much of modern technology, energy, manufacturers, national security, and that wasn't always appreciated, that its complexity, that its size, that its diversity, and the issues it raises really needed both the sustained exploration of scholars across disciplines and the training of people to do that critical work. That was the vision behind the program. It wouldn't exist, but John, for your leadership and commitment then and now, the network you have is nothing short of extraordinary, both among practitioners and scholars. And that sounds like 2 camps, but one of the fascinating things about the people who've been involved in this program is people really have a foot in both worlds. There's a lot of interest in the realities and complexities of mining, but also in the study and discussion around policy. I think this year's summit, looking at the interface of water and water resources and mining, is a perfect example of that. Everything in life touches on water, and everything in the West and in the Southwest in particular touches on water. Mining is also an industry with a dramatic and historic footprint here and in other areas where water resources are critical. And so a little bit like the water energy interface, or water ag, or water and urban growth and development, or water and chip manufacturing. I mean, there's almost no interesting aspect of society, including mining, where a serious and deep conversation about water and water resources is not welcome. So I think it's a fantastic and appropriate topic for this year, and an area where we can add a lot. I do think that this is a moment. I appreciate you mentioning my decision to step down. 12 years is a long time to survive in the role of dean. But it's not just survival. We've thrived in so many ways, including building this program. I do have very high hopes that with the School of Mining and Mineral Resources and the historic and modern commitment to mining, that the courses and the summit, the vision you've built will continue. And I'd just like to ask anyone who joins the summit and cares about the program to help us think about the ways to continue to build and institutionalize in the best sense what has been, again, a brilliant program that, John, without you would not exist at all.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate your support this whole time. I think that, we always like to think in terms of geologic time, and yours was just a flash here, but a flash very much appreciated. When the program started, I wanted to be able to continue the connections with the College of Mines, and one of the advantages that we have at the University of Arizona is that it is about a 5-minute walk between the mines building and the law school. And I think that it has been my effort to make sure that connection continued and grew. And so that the summit is a good outreach of that interest. Let me go very quickly through what we've used or what we've looked at for the summit. The first summit was in 2016 when we looked at exploring solutions for abandoned mine policy, and it was sort of triggered by the spill at the Gold King. In 2017, we looked at building capacity for mineral development of Native American and indigenous communities. The next year, we looked at mine safety. After that, certainly one of my favorite ones, looking at a mining law for deep space and the deep seas. And there's some very interesting presentations that were made that year. The year after that, we looked at new frontiers in community engagement. We've looked at the future of mining law, and then assessing challenges to mineral resource development. And last year we looked at the law of gems and gemstones. And for anyone that hasn't seen the Mineral Museum in downtown Tucson, it is a gem, if you will, and I would encourage anyone to go down there. One thing that we've also done, to the extent that we've been able to, is to put up all of the recordings, or as many of the recordings as possible, under a YouTube playlist. And you can see we do have a link for you, and I'll also make sure that when at the end of the program that we post that link, so that if you missed anything, or for that matter did not watch the program when it was live, although obviously we record all of the presentations with a live question and answer, that you'll be able to see what was said. The topics that we'll have today, we're going to start out with the historic water and mining operations, with presentations made by Carlos Ronstadt and myself, together with Professor Eric Nystrom at the University of Nevada, Reno. Then the next topic will be hydrology, and Tim Bailey at Montgomery and Associates will provide some of the technical background that miners and lawyers face in interpreting the physical facts of water. Then we'll look at a case study of a water mitigation company / community agreement in looking at what was done and is being done up at the town of Superior. Then we'll look over at negotiation and implementation of these agreements in the Americas with some presenters from the Firelight Group in British Columbia. And finally, we'll look at capacity building in the context of community agreements, talking about the capacity that we have here at the University of Arizona and the crossroads of hydrology and other disciplines that we have at the University of Arizona. And finally, we'll leave some time for commentary and discussion. And at this point, my friend and colleague from across the sea, Ana Bastida, who is with the Center for Energy, Petroleum, and Mineral Law and Policy at Dundee University, will join for the commentary and also give people the opportunity of submitting questions. We will leave time after each of the presentations for people to submit questions, and we'll answer questions at that time to the extent that we have time. Otherwise, we'll put them at the end of the program. So with all of that, we'll go on to our first presentation. Thank you.